Hi there, welcome to a quick video to show the map editor for Greyvar. So as you probably see from the screenshot, it's a desktop application and it's taken me a little while to, I guess, to update this recently for Greyvar. I've updated the map formats that this saves to and kind of the boring under the hood stuff. But I just want to quickly show you how to draw maps with Greyvar. So if you left click on a tile, see these little selectors. It will select the tile that you selected there and show you the texture in this area that's associated with that tile. And so that's the left click, and if you right click then you can also then paint that texture again onto another tile. So if I wanted to draw this fence, it's just left click and right click as I kind of paint the tiles. This has made it very easy to extend the maps and add to maps quite quickly. And you see I just made a quick change to the fence there and drag that up a bit. And you see I could do that again here on the path. Wanted to drag that out. I could paint the end of the path there and just paint a bit more of the path. Drag this out. And this is how I've just been building maps so far. Obviously, really early days so far today. Still got quite a lot more we need to add into the game yet, but this is working at the moment. And what's interesting is you see, obviously, if the beach around here, obviously this is a kind of a long line. This requires a few textures, right? So this is a flat texture here of just the sand and the water. This is obviously a corner texture. And then there's another type of corner here as it bends around the bend. So I've had to kind of draw out quite a few textures just to make even the simple graphics. And if you click on a texture chooser here, see here's a few of the textures I've made so far. And I think one thing I'll just quickly show you here is the roof of this house is actually using an old texture where I was using kind of quite flat roofs. And nowadays I'm kind of drawing the houses with much bigger roofs. It looks a little bit better. So I'll just try and fix this up here just while I've got this video running. So if we draw the top of the roof, draw that there, and try and find the side of the roof. Now this is interesting. So obviously I've drawn a texture here for the side of the roof. And I was finding myself having to draw quite a lot of textures for like other sides of the roof or other orientations of these tiles of the beaches and that kind of stuff. And that was taking a long time. It was really boring to keep drawing lots of different orientations of textures. So what I added support for was the ability to flip textures here. So you can see you can flip the texture horizontally and vertically. And that flipping works in the map editor, is saved into the file, is recognized by the server, which serves the maps, and the clients also will use the same texture but will flip it then in memory and will flip it around to make it render properly for clients when they actually come to play the game. And this has saved me a whole bunch of time in drawing textures, but it did take quite a long time to program that and get it working correctly. So I just flip that texture and draw the other side of the house. Let's see, where's the top of the house here? And draw the top in. And now we should have a texture for the middle of the house somewhere. It is here. So here's a good example. So obviously this texture for the middle of the house was designed for a slightly different orientation. So rather than flip it horizontally or vertically, we can actually rotate the texture 90 degrees twice, or rotate it 180 degrees, and there you go, we've got a slightly better looking house. We can save that file then. And this saves out to a YAML file at the moment today. So that's been quite a lot of work recently. Is previously the maps, the grids here were CSV files. I now changed them to YAML files, which has given me a lot more flexibility. And what I'm going to do over the next few weeks is build out this map editor to add support for collision detection and, well, actually some of that's already there today. I'll show you the traversable layer. So here's a view of the grids and tiles that you can walk on. Actually, that's a good example. So you see that the roof here, I've built the roof out. Obviously, you can't walk on the roof anymore. So if we go to here and untick that as traversable, that means turning the tiles red that you can't walk on the roof. You certainly don't want that. Do the same thing for the fence that we fixed. And maybe later on we'll make this automatic so you don't have to worry so much about which textures you can walk on and which textures you can't. But at the moment, yeah, that works quite nicely. So I need to extend that a bit and add a bit more in there for collision detection. Just take that off. Something we're working on as well was to do teleports. And you can see I've started doing teleports, basically allowing you to get between maps and get between grids. We'll just save that. And then I'm also going to add in support for things like layers. So layers in here for entities, so players and things that you can pick up, as well as fluids. So I'd quite like to do like water, lava, slime, that kind of stuff that can flow around the map. And that'll take some time. I just want to quickly show you as well how you can open up new worlds. So let's see, I'll just enter a random grid here. So here's another one I was working on. And again, this is a .grid file. This is one that's obviously very much in progress. And let's just find another one. So we've got the Isle of Starting. Let's pick a random one here. Here's a very simple grid that obviously needs a lot more work on it. As you can see on here, I've started drawing the outline for the beach, which looks okay. But the grass here, obviously the grass and the sand, they don't look so good because I'm using kind of the wrong texture here. If I just search in here for the grass, yeah, grass and sand, this texture, then there's one I created, which is kind of like merging the grass and sand together. And I can go around and create the rest of that later on, but just so you get a rough idea of what the map editor looks like. Thanks for listening.